Well, now our HTML file does actually include HTML tags, but it's still not proper or not properly set up yet, because most HTML documents have some setup tags that we'll use to establish the page for the browser. So what I'd like to do is take our little page that we're working on and let's add those setup tags. First of all, the entire page is enclosed in an HTML tag. So let me add a space at the top, and I'll go up there and I'll add my HTML tag. And like all the other tags that we've worked with so far, I need a closer tag for that, and I'm going to put that down at the bottom of my document. We're using /HTML, so the ending tag is formatted just like the paragraph and the strong and M tags that we used before. The HTML tag is referred to as the root, and it basically contains the entire document itself. Now, we can break up that HTML tag into two big parts in our document. At the top, we generally put a head tag. So let me add a line underneath HTML, and I'll add an open head tag. And then I'll go down a line or two, and we'll add a close head tag. The head tag is used to establish information about the page for the browser, and this is information that doesn't necessarily appear on the page itself. One really common use for the head tag is to add a title for the page. If I look over here to the browser, you can see that in the tab, it just shows the file address, which is kind of ugly. Now, I'll just go in here and add a title tag. It's not a bad idea to add the close tag while we're typing. And then in between those two tags, I can add a normal page title. I'll just add my first web page. Let's save that. The other section inside of our HTML tag is the body tag. And that goes below the head tag, so let me add a line and I'll add the start body tag there. The body tag is going to enclose all the visible elements on the page. So I'm going to add the end body tag down here below all the paragraphs and before the HTML tag closes. We've got a /body so that it's formatted just like the other elements. And now we have divisions for the setup of our page and the content of our page. Now, there's really only one more tag that we need to add, and that's up here at the top. This one isn't really a tag, but it's the only thing that's going to exist outside of the HTML root tag that we set up, and that is a doc type declaration. This one looks a little bit different. We started off just like a tag, but we have an exclamation point at the beginning, and then the name doc type. This is followed by a declaration of what type of document we have. And since we're using HTML5, we can use a simple one, which is just HTML. The function of this tag is to tell the browser not only what type of document we're working with, HTML, but also what version of HTML we're using to code with. And HTML5 has one of the simplest doc type declarations with just the word HTML added to it. Now we've got a document that looks a lot like a typical web page. We've got our HTML tag enclosing all the contents of our page, except for the doc type. We've got a head tag that's setting up our document with a title, and we've got a body tag that's establishing all the visible content that we want included on our page. Now let's just save it like before, and we can go out to our browser and refresh the page and see our changes. The first thing you'll notice is that all the code that we added didn't really change the content of the page, but they did change the setup. We can see that our title now appears up here in the tab. And as a nice bonus, if we had our web page out on the web live and a user wanted to bookmark the page, it would use this title as the bookmark text instead of the big address that we saw before.